Well, hello everyone. This is Grace at gbmaltese, and I have quite a bit done on my WIP, or work in progress, for this Valentine's Day collab that Rebecca and I are doing. This is gorgeous. Look at the sparkle. I've got it on my tabletop easel, clipped to it, so that I could show it to you a little bit better. Look at the sparkle in that. Okay, I've got a bird and a cloud done. Pretty much got around the sides done. It's beautiful. Now I'm working. Tell my husband that is us sitting in a swing together. Look how it sparkles. It's beautiful. And again, I want to thank Rachel of Treasure Studios Art for basically sponsoring us for this collab with this gorgeous custom that she did for us. Mine is called The Swing of Love. Rebecca's has a heart. I'll put the links below if you are interested in getting this canvas. Truly, I am really enjoying doing this, but I wanted to show you what I have done since I talked to you last. It's hard for me to stop working on it. It may be done the next time you see it. I don't know. I'm planning on where it says love and that heart. I'm planning on putting sparklers in there to give it a little bit of a different look. But let me tell you, Rachel can do all of your DP needs. She did a fantastic job explaining how the different adhesives work. Rebecca interviewed her last Saturday night. I'm going to put a link to that below. She does her live about her picture she's doing, and in the second part, the second hour, she interviews Rachel from Treasure Art Studio, and it was fascinating. You need to go watch that, and also be able to be put whatever it is Rebecca said to put for the giveaway that we're going to be doing. It's going to be big. We have a lot of stuff, and I'm getting ready after I finish showing you this to do my next drawing. So this is gorgeous. I love it. Be right back. Okay, it's time to do another drawing to see which name is going to be put into the grand prize giveaway at the end of our collab. I have put the URL address in there. Last week you were to comment on what you wish for Valentine's Day. Now, a lot of you said, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but you put a wish down. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day either, but you can always wish. Well, let's turn that little ad off. We can all wish for a little something something there. Anyway, I've filtered any duplicate answers, and let me load up those comments. Let's see how many. There were 79 unique comments. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to start, and we're going to see who the next person will be on the list that I have. And I will show you that list in a moment. Okay, let's start. Let me see. Okay, Cassie Mize. Let's see what she wrote. Hi Grace, it's great to see you working on a Treasure Studios art canvas. Oh, and it's fantastic, Cassie. I just love Treasure Studios art, and Rachel is just absolutely awesome. I have accumulated several customs from her already. It is interesting to hear where so many of the popular phrases originated from. You make learning fun. I wish you would have been one of my teachers. Thank you so much, Cassie. That's so sweet. For Valentine's Day, I would love to see the medical community find a cure for the coronavirus. That would be so awesome. That's a wonderful wish. Once again, thank you for such a great video. I can't wait to see your next one. Thank you, Cassie. So, Cassie is the next person on the list. And I'm going to show everyone the list that I have now. That is from both my channel and from Rebecca's channel. Let's go back this way. Okay. Here, these are the 3 people that have been drawn on my channel. Allison McDermott, Angie's Crazy Minnesota Diamond Painting, and Cassie Mize. On Rebecca's channel, Becky Porter, Judy Millet, sorry, and Robin Babcock. Okay, these are the people so far. 2 names are going to be drawn for this awesome giveaway. It's going to be what I showed today, plus everything before this on both my channel and Rebecca's channel. I will link Rebecca's latest one down. She hasn't done the drawing on her channel yet. Today, watch and see what you gotta do to enter the giveaway for this time, and I'll show you what is up for grabs this time. Look at this really cute packaging. And as you can see, this is from PaddyWaxx for the Discerning Diamond Painter. And I love this stuff. This is all I use now. That's what I've been doing my whole canvas with, and you can see there are no ugly drills on it. It works great. Now, Robyn very generously and kindly donated these things for our giveaway. And I want to thank you again, Robyn. You are the best. She's coming out with something new, so you need to check her. You need to check her Etsy shop out, and she's got a channel explaining what her newest item is. I haven't seen it out yet, so I cannot wait to try it. But we have the regular PaddyWaxx, and look at the scents. Love Potion 9. This smells fantastic. It's all I can do not to just keep smelling these things. They smell so good. And then we have Very Vanilla. And then we have the pop socket for your phone that you can stick onto your phone, or you can put it wherever you want to. It's got the sticker on the back so you can stick it. So that goes in one package. The next one also has Love Potion number 9. And this one has milk chocolates. And all of these smell wonderful. And another pop socket for the phone. So, these are awesome. As I said, all I'm using is my PaddyWaxx. In here, I'm using my Granny's Kitchen. Oh my goodness. All of these smell so good. Not only do I like using it, but I love that I have not a strong scent now. It ain't gonna blow your eyeballs out, so don't think, oh my goodness, I can't stand a strong smell. It's a nice, pleasant scent, and I love having that smell while I'm diamond painting. And someone said, oh, you did it from the wrong side. You can do this from any side you want to. You can do it from the sides, the bottom, the top. I just went in there and just started digging in. Love this stuff. Like I said, I use it all the time. So this is in for this week. There's one. And here is the second one. So, you need to listen to what you need to do to have your name entered in the drawing for your name to be entered in the big grand prize giveaway we have at the end. The end of our collab is February the 29th. So, I've shown you the names that have been listed so far. Follow along and listen so you know what to do. So now, I'm going to get started working on my painting and have a little chat with you. See you in a minute. I'm back again, and I'm going to work on my tabletop easel, and we'll see how this works out for how you can see things. I hope that you'll be able to see it well. It's at the point I'm at now, it's easier for me to work on it with the tabletop easel, and that's how I've been mostly working with it, because it is large and it's easier to get to the sections I want, and when you get to the middle, it's just easier for me. So, I will have a link to my Amazon store, and I do have a link to the easel that I'm using. In my Amazon store, I have things linked that I actually use, and I can make a few cents if you go through my link to purchase things. But honey, you do not have to go through my link. You can just go to find what it is that I'm using and go to whatever, you know, whatever. I just do it because a lot of people ask me about things I use. It just makes things a little easier for me. Now, as I said, I am enjoying working on this so much that it's hard for me to stop. And yeah, I'll probably finish before the collab is over, but I want you to be able to see it. You know, I don't want it to be something, let me see, I hope you can see what I'm doing okay. Kind of got you sideways, but it's hard to get it straight on because that's where my head is. Unless I mounted you to my head, I guess there could be a way to do that. Except I'm moving my head up and down and all around, so you might get a little seasick if I did that too. So, I don't know what the best way is. You tell me which way you like me doing this. Is it okay on this easel, or do you like it better when I have it flat on the ground, on the tabletop? I can do it either way. I just thought, I'm going to try it this way. This is easier for me, but if you can't see it, then that's not going to do any good now, is it? I want you to be able to see what I'm doing and to be able to enjoy it, because I enjoy looking when people are doing their diamond paintings. It's kind of interesting. Now, I have been telling you some different origins of idiomatic phrases, and I have some more today, but I'm going to start with one that's not an idiom, but it's a interesting fact I found about why pirates wear an eye patch. I always thought it was because they got their eye knocked out, maybe in a duel or something, and somebody knocked their eye out. Well, no, that is not the case. They wear the eye patch, so one eye is covered during the day, so it's basically in the dark all day long. At nighttime, they will change the patch over to the other eye, so that the eye that has been in the dark all day is already acclimated to the darkness, so they can see to do whatever business they want to get up to in the dark. And so they change the eye patch over to the other eye, so they're looking with that blinded eye, I guess we thought that they had. And then they'll change it back around again for the next day. So at night, it would be put over on the other eye. Oh, good job, Grace. Knock it off. I thought that was kind of interesting, because I'm like, surely not all of them have lost their eyes, and they haven't. So I found that to be a little interesting. Any of you ever heard that story? I just thought it was kind of interesting, little tidbit of information. Maybe if let's see. I'll look over here. Maybe you can see me putting them down. Oh, I don't guess it makes much difference. It's going to be at an angle no matter what I do. I can turn this a little bit so I can still kind of see it. Okay. Now let's get to some more idiomatic phrases. These are things we use that really don't make any sense. But they came about being from certain things that have happened. And have you ever heard close but no cigar? Yeah, you know, you've almost answered something right, or you've almost done something right, and they say close but no cigar. Well, many years ago, when they had carnivals, they were not for children, and the prizes were cigars. So if you, let's say, threw a ball and knocked over a bunch of milk jugs or whatever the task was, you would win cigars. But if you missed it, they would say close but no cigar. So that's where that came from. I had no idea that those were the prizes given, cigars. I mean, what if a lady won? I don't want a cigar. I'm glad they changed that. Yeah, I want a cute little teddy bear or something. A little stuffed animal of some kind. So, that was kind of interesting. Break a leg. Okay. When someone wants to wish you luck, they tell you to break a leg. And I thought, why would someone say that? Well, the reason is basically reverse psychology. Back when they would have plays that they would put on, they felt like they were basically giving someone bad luck if they say, oh, good luck tonight, hope you do well. They felt like the little imps or whatever would come out and make them have bad luck. So instead, they would think of something that wouldn't be so pleasant, like, you know, breaking a leg. Because sometimes people would fall off the stage and actually break their legs. So that is where the term came from, break your leg. Even though that sounds like, really, why would you tell someone just go on out there and break your leg? Actually, it means good luck. And it's reverse psychology. And they said they felt like people were being maybe too full of themselves if they told them, you know, yeah, you're going to do great. They'd tell them, break a leg. So, it was kind of, you know, just their way of saying good luck. Okay, the next one I have, this is minding your P's and Q's. Now, if someone tells you to mind your P's and Q's, that means you need to watch what you're doing. Well, that came from a very interesting place. This was actually used in a bar or tavern or pub, whatever you want to call it, when the barmaids had to keep up with what people were drinking. Some people were drinking pints of ale, some were drinking quarts of ale. So they were told, the barmaids were told, mind your P's and Q's. That means you better be right on it, be right on top of it. You better know who's ordering those pints and who's ordering those quarts, because you wanted to make sure you gave it to the right person. I thought that was quite interesting. I never thought of it as being, I thought of it being something real proper. Not started in a pub. Mind your P's and Q's. So basically, you need to watch if those people you're, minding your P's and Q's of, are they drinking a pint of ale? Are they drinking a quart? Wow, if they're drinking a quart, can you imagine? Okay, that was interesting. Now the next one. I've heard this many times. If something costs a lot of money, people will say, man, that costs an arm and a leg. I had no idea where that came from, and it basically came from when people had their portraits painted. Before cameras came into being, people would have their portraits painting. And if they wanted to have, and if you'll notice in most of the portraits you see painting, you don't see arms and legs. You normally see a bust of that person. Because every arm and leg that was painted, you had to pay extra. It wasn't a lot to add another person, but arms and legs were considered to be more difficult to paint. So, if you wanted one arm, that would cost you so much. One leg, that would cost you so much. So that's where that came from. If you wanted to have more than one arm or leg painted in your painting, it was going to cost you an arm and a leg. Maybe two arms and legs if you're having both of them. I thought that was quite funny. Can you imagine if you were having a group portrait done and you had everybody's arms and legs in there? It really would cost you an arm and a leg. So I thought that was quite interesting. So the next time I say, man, that's going to cost me an arm and a leg, I can just, I know a picture, a portrait's going to come up in my mind. And I'm going to be thinking, okay, did they have arms and legs? Now I'm going to start looking at them. Okay, did they have an arm and a leg in that portrait? Or did they just have their bust? I mean, they could put their arm behind their back, and that would be okay, because they didn't have to paint the arm. So, you could put both arms behind your back, I suppose. So, when you're looking at old portraits, look and see if people had their paintings done with their arms and legs, or did they have their arms hidden? Maybe that's why ladies wore shawls. Cover up their arms. I don't know. Okay, this next one. I got tickled on this next one. This one is called Mind Your Own Beeswax. And some people will say, it means mind your own business. You know, take care of your own self. Don't worry about me. You worry about yourself. Well, back before we had all the different kinds of products to cover wrinkles and all that kind of thing, ladies smeared beeswax on their faces to give them a smoother complexion. And if another lady got to looking too close at you, they'd say, mind your own beeswax. Meaning, you know, worry about the own wax on your face. Because sometimes if you got too hot or if you got too close to a fire, the wax would start melting off of your face. And that's where the term losing face came from. Yeah, if you're losing face, that's quite embarrassing. That meant the beeswax was melting off of your face. So if someone told you, you're losing face, I mean, you were losing that beeswax face you put on. So, I just can't imagine having that on my face. Now, another term that came from that was cracking a smile. Or, you know, you won't even crack a smile, because when they put the beeswax on, if you smiled, yeah, it would crack around your lips. It'd crack around your mouth. So, I guess that's why a lot of ladies didn't smile in some of their pictures. They didn't want the beeswax to crack. Yeah, mind your own beeswax. And am I glad we don't have to worry about putting something like that on our faces. We've kind of got out of that. But yeah, they wanted their faces to be smooth and lovely. And we all know what can happen, you know, with wax. Just think if you lived in a warm climate. Yeah, I can see me in the summertime with beeswax on my face and be sitting outside, and all of a sudden my face starts melting off. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing face. I just got tickled. I guess, you know, vanity goes back a long way. of what, especially for women, what we would do to try to look younger than our age. But I'm glad things have come along. I just can't imagine the feel of the beeswax on my face. I don't know how you could move your face. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little fact. So the next time someone tells you to mind your own beeswax, you could say, I'm not wearing any. And then they say, huh? Or, man, she don't even crack a smile. You know, somebody who won't smile, they're afraid of cracking their beeswax. I just cannot even imagine it melting off of my face. How embarrassing. That would really give you a creepy look, having melting wax coming off your face. And as we know, we've talked about bathing in the past, in my, maybe in the last 2 videos I've probably talked about it. People didn't bathe much. Back in the day, they might have took a dip in the creek or whatever, but for example, a regular bath where you really washed your whole body with soap and water, or whatever it is that they used, that only occurred once or twice a year. And I guess these people were wealthy because it said that they bathed twice a year. Well, during that time, you know what happens with your hair, how it can get dirty and flat looking. Most women kept their heads covered. That makes more sense now, thinking about that when you look at pictures. And they wore wigs. Well, men wore wigs also. Men would shave their heads in order to wear their wigs. And after a period of time, you know, the wig is going to get a little bit flat. It's going to get dirt in it. And they had bugs and lice. Yes, that was a problem for them in the day. They didn't have the things we have to get rid of those insects. So what the men would do occasionally is, well, the term I'm going to be talking about today is called big wig. You know, if you think of a big wig, you think of someone who's important or, you know, highfalutin or whatever. Well, a lot of people that I would see wearing wigs were more prominent people. But what the reason the term big wig came around was that the men, in order to get rid of bugs, lice, whatever on their wigs, they would hollow out a loaf of bread and they would put the wig inside and it would be baked. While the bread was baking, the moisture and heat would kill the bugs or any other type of insect, lice, whatever it might be, in the wig. And in this process of the heat and humidity, it also puffed the wig up. So they had a big wig that they put on their head. So I guess it would look much fresher once they, you know, took it out of the oven. I just kept just picturing, you know, a loaf of bread with a wig inside it. Because the pictures of wigs that I've seen, it seemed like most of them were those gray looking wigs. They might have had other colors, I don't know. But the heat and humidity from that oven gave them a big wig. So I'm sure that if you were not able to afford, you know, to bake your own bread, those kinds of things, you couldn't do that. You might not have had a wig. So a big wig is somebody who, when I think of a big wig, of somebody who thinks of themselves as being very important. So I guess they felt real special because they no longer had bugs crawling in their wigs. I can just see sitting there looking at someone and see, you know, these bugs crawling in their wigs. Interesting. I always wondered how in the world, you know, they would clean certain things like that. And when I look at photos, I do notice women normally have their hair covered. yeah, you got to cover up that when you can't wash your hair. We have different things that, well, we can bathe more often. And we can get dry shampoo or use baby powder for that matter of the fact. If your hair, you know, gets a little oily. I remember when I was a kid, I had to wash my hair every day. When I was a teenager, I had such oily hair. I just hated it. But now that I'm older, my hair's dry. So I've been thrilled to death that I don't have to do it every single day. When I'm using, I will keep one pin with no wax in it to straighten it out so I don't squish any kind of wax that I have in my pen out. I've been doing that for ages. Probably one of my first videos on diamond painting, I think I talked about it. It just keeps you from mushing down and, you know, getting more waxy boogers on your painting. But I always keep an empty one if I want to push down real hard to straighten one out. Okay, let me see. What else do we have? Okay, straight from the horse's mouth. Now, if someone tells you it's straight from the horse's mouth, that means it's coming straight from the source. It came right from that person. If I tell you so-and-so is going on a cruise or going on a special vacation and I got it straight from the horse's mouth, that means I got it from the person who I'm talking about. Well, people really respected their horses. They held them in very high esteem. Back when horses were used for everything. So, people who really knew horses were able to look at a horse's teeth to be able to tell the age of the horse. So if someone said, my horse is only 2 years old, you got many years left in that horse. Well, someone who really knew how to tell a horse's age could look at a horse inside a horse's mouth and look at the size and shape of a horse's teeth and tell how old it is. Now, I do not have that ability at all. But what they would say is I got it straight from the horse's mouth that this horse is 10 years old. So, they could then, hey, you're not telling the truth about that. I got it straight from the horse's mouth. So that's where that came from. So, it's really interesting to know that these come from so long ago and we still use them and we know what they mean. Granted, we have new ones coming out. We have words that are brand new, and I'll get into that maybe another time when I can find some that but the ones I'm talking about lately have been from a long time ago, back when horses were dependent on a lot of things, or women and men wore wigs because they couldn't bathe. Okay, have you ever heard it through the grapevine? Yep, it didn't come from the song. I love that song, by the way. But it did not come from that song. It actually came from telegraphs. So, when someone tells you they heard it through the grapevine, you know they've heard it maybe from somebody else. They heard it over the phone. But, oops. Telegraph wires would have to run from one station to another in order to get a message sent from one place to another. So if you wanted to get a message to someone quickly, you would telegraph them. And the wires that were used, they had them strung all, I guess, across the different states. I don't know if, probably all states didn't have a telegraph. But the wires and the poles reminded people of grapevines. It reminded them of the strings that were used to train grapevines to grow a certain way. I guess they wrapped the vine on that string. Well, that is where the term came from. I heard it through the grapevine. Was because people looked at the telegraph poles and they thought, oh, that, those look like what people use to train. There we go. Couldn't get that one popped on into place. When you sent a message, the telegraph lines looked, there were so many poles and wires in order to get it from station to station. So that's where that came from. It reminded them of the grapes that they would see growing. So then it carried all the way over here, and we don't grow grapes in the area I live in. Some of you may live near some vineyards, but I don't. So that would have seemed strange and odd to me that I wouldn't picture them as looking like a grapevine, but we just brought it into our language, and it's still part of our language today. And there's even a song. And the last one I want to tell you about, I thought, okay, when it's really, really cold, we have certain terms that we use. Some of them can be kind of crude. One that I found I'd heard before and had no idea where it came from. It is cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Okay, I'm like, what? What could that mean? I'm thinking of like a statue of a brass monkey and the balls falling off of it. Okay, well, that's not actually where it came from. It is ships. Most ships would carry cannons on them. It didn't have to just be warships. They carried cannons. Think about those pirates. Remember the patch on their eye? If it was nighttime, they'd just switch it over to the other eye. Anyway, they had cannons on those ships, and to carry the cannonballs without them rolling all over the deck, they would stack them up in like a pyramid shape. Well, the very bottom layer would go inside. It was a square, and they had indentations in it. And they'd set that bottom layer, then they'd stack some more and more and more and more. Well, they called that square piece a monkey. Okay, that seems strange to me too. Why monkey? Anyway, when they first had cannonballs, they were made from iron, and the monkey was also made from iron. And what happened is when they were going across the ocean, the moisture from the sea would rust the iron. So the cannonballs would get stuck to the monkey, and they couldn't get them loose in order to use them. So they started making the monkey out of brass so that they would not rust together. So that was all well and good in the summertime. So they had what happens is in the winter, when it got cold, the brass started to contract. It got bigger. So the balls, those cannonballs, fell off the monkey and rolled around on the ship. So that's the term, cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Yeah. Really strange. So that's pretty darn cold. If it's cold enough to make that metal contract, it'd have to be pretty darn cold. So that's where that term came from. And I know there are quite a few others that I've heard. Mostly I've heard from my husband. I'm going to have to look those up and see where they came from, or if it's just something that originated from people just trying to think of weird things to say. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to those different little gems or little pieces of information that I found. It's kind of fun. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find some of those things, but it's interesting. And I think the one that gets me the most is Mind Your Own Beeswax, because all I can think about is having wax on my face. Okay, there are times that I have put face masks on, and you know, they get hard and you peel them off, or you wash them off, depending, and you know, it keeps you from being able to really move your face. And I'm thinking, can you imagine wearing that all day long and you would not be able to speak or smile or communicate very well? Just think if you were at a party and it was really funny. You started laughing and the wax starts cracking and falling off your face. Yeah, you would be minding your own beeswax then. I'd be running out of the room. Of course, no, it's wow, that one really gets me. The things women do for beauty. Truly, I mean, we'll think about it. People, you know, get shots in their face to Botox or fillers and things like that nowadays. So I guess putting beeswax on your face isn't so far-fetched after all. And they have found that honey and beeswax really is good for your face. So maybe if they just worn it for like a mask and taken it off, it would have smoothed their faces out. But you know, that came later on when we had more scientific approaches and people started doing experiments. So when you're experimenting with something, just think, you might come up with something new and unusual. You never know. And I don't think that I'm going to try beeswax on my face anytime soon. I could see maybe honey. That might be easier to get off than when wax melts on your face. I just can't imagine that. Okay, now let's talk about what I would like you to do to enter the giveaway. And well, not the giveaway, to get your name drawn to be in the giveaway. I have been thinking about all the lovely scents that Robyn has for her Paddywax. Now, I would like for you to write down, what is your favorite scent? Or a scent that you might think would be kind of cool to be used in Paddywax. I'm going to tell you a scent that I like, and you're going to think, you're kind of weird. Well, yeah, I am, but that's okay. One thing I really like, and if you enjoy reading books, you might understand this one. I love the scent of the pages in a book, and I will put it to my nose and smell it. I love it. My sister thinks that is weird, and she said they probably put it's probably some kind of ink or something they put on those pages, and you're probably going to get high off of it, and that's why you like smelling it. I said, well, maybe it is, but I like it. Other scents that I like, she's got lots of scents of hers that I love. I love the ginger fizz. I have so many of them that I love. But I want you to tell me a scent that you really like. And, yeah, let's put that in a sentence of some sort. My favorite scent is, and you could put an ocean breeze. That is lovely. Your favorite scent might be smelling, let's see, there's all kinds of weird, different scents that, you know, people like. I enjoy smelling, well, as I said, the pages in a book, but I also enjoy early in the morning when you are out smelling, maybe walking through a rose garden. I enjoy that smell. It's, you know, the early morning dewy scent. That smells lovely. I also love the smell of any kind of cookie. I think that's why I love Granny's Kitchen. That's a smell of kind of like oatmeal cookies. It smells so good. And I have it close. Sometimes I pick it up to get a stronger whiff. It's really nice. So what is your favorite scent? And Robyn might be looking through these and think, oh, maybe I could find that kind of a scent if it's something different that she doesn't already have. Because let me tell you, she's got a bunch. That campfire scent is one that is, oh, it's good. And she made a video the other day about a new product she's got coming out. I've been checking her site. I haven't seen it yet. That is going to be to use in a single placer. So you need to be checking Robyn's shop out. On Etsy, it's called PaddyWaxx. I'll put a link below. And I want to thank her again for donating the lovely bricks of PaddyWaxx she donated. That will last somebody a long, long time. Yeah, I have been using 2 different bricks, and let me tell you, I'm not even close to getting through them. I just keep one in one room and one in the other, because I work on different diamond paintings in different places. So, tell me what your favorite scent is. I mean, it could be anything. It may be something weird. That's okay. You may think the smell of pages in a book is kind of weird. I kind of like the smell of newspaper, too. I don't know. It's just something about it. I think the scent of the library book pages, or any books actually, but the library books are even extra special because they've been sitting on those shelves for a while. But they bring back childhood memories. I've always loved to read, and I love going to the library. So, yeah. So just tell me, what is your favorite scent? And it could be some kind of perfume. You know, my favorite scent is, tell me the name of what the perfume is. So that's pretty easy. Anyway, I am going to go for now. I think I have been your ear long enough. Oh, I have to look that up. Bent your ear. Yeah, I've talked to you long enough. You know, I could talk the ears off a brass monkey. Wonder where that came from. Got to check that one out too. We know where one monkey came from a ship. So I am going to tell you goodbye for now, and I hope to see you again soon. I have started doing lives on Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time if you'd like to join me. I would love to have you. We just sit and talk about any and everything. Any kind of crafts or whatever might come up in mind. It's just fun. We just want to have fun. So, talk about some fun stuff. Anyway, I am going to go, and don't forget, leave your comment below. What is your favorite scent? And if you have any suggestions of you want me to look up some certain term, please put it down below, and I'll see if I can find it. Some of these are hard to find. But you take care. You have a blessed day. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you're having a wonderfully blessed day. And remember, guys, I love you. Share your hugs and your smiles. Bye for now.